We tend to imagine the next global conflict as a traditional mobilization of tanks and fighter jets, but it begins as a silent, invisible assault on the digital infrastructure that keeps a modern society functioning. Take the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. 17 critical undersea cables run through these narrow corridors, carrying the vast majority of data traffic between Europe, Asia, and Africa. If an adversary manages to sever these arteries, they can instantly blind entire continents. Systemic paralysis begins immediately. Global financial credit channels freeze, halting the flow of capital, while complex logistical networks that manage humanitarian aid distribution fail. Without data, the mechanisms used to deliver food and medicine to vulnerable regions simply stop. In a hyper-connected world, an attacker can cripple a government and paralyze an economy without crossing a physical border. By targeting a single digital choke point, they achieve total disruption before a single physical bullet is fired. Identifying the source of that strike brings us to the attribution challenge. Unlike a missile launch, cyber attacks utilize spoofed origins and complex server routing to hide the perpetrator's identity, making it nearly impossible to instantly prove who is responsible. This anonymity removes the certainty required for diplomacy. When a nation's infrastructure goes dark and the origin is obscured, leaders are forced to make decisions in a state of paranoia. That ambiguity often leads to miscalculations and strained relations between nuclear powers. Under NATO's collective security framework, a large-scale strike on a member's digital assets can trigger Article 5, putting cyber defense on the same level as a physical invasion. Because of the difficulty of attribution, there is no margin for error. A rogue hack or a severe system glitch could be misinterpreted as an act of war, accidentally crossing the threshold into a full-scale physical conflict. Once the war becomes physical, the battlefield expands into the stratosphere. High-altitude balloons equipped with advanced sensors hover at 30 kilometers, while swarms of small satellites jam communication signals and monitor movements with unblinking precision. Tactical objectives on the ground have shifted. Militaries no longer focus on capturing vast territory. Instead, they race to seize specific automated power grids and vital data centers that keep the digital war machine running. Human soldiers in this environment require heavy augmentation. They use powered mechanical exoskeletons to navigate terrain that would otherwise exhaust a human operator. But the front line is increasingly occupied by autonomous, AI-directed robotics. The skies are filled with swarms of small, networked suicide drones, capable of identifying and striking targets with total coordination. This is machine-speed warfare. It describes a combat environment where artificial intelligence processes data and executes attacks in milliseconds, speeds that exceed the limits of human cognition. By removing human reaction time from the process, the pace of conflict accelerates. Machine-speed warfare pushes the escalation curve so violently that a skirmish can reach the brink of nuclear use before diplomats have time to intervene. In this high-speed environment, a false positive becomes a civilization-ending threat. During an intense conflict, a flawed satellite warning system, overwhelmed by decoys or system noise, could falsely report an incoming nuclear strike. This initiates the Launch on Warning Protocol. It dictates that a nuclear response must be ordered the moment a threat is confirmed on radar, ensuring the missiles are in the air before enemy warheads can destroy them on the ground. This pressure is highest for land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles. Because these silos are in known, fixed locations, they are vulnerable to preemptive strikes, creating a permanent use-it-or-lose-it pressure for commanders. The burden of this decision falls on the president, who is forcibly evacuated and given a strict window. They have exactly 6 minutes to confirm the threat and authorize a counterstrike. Mutually assured destruction is no longer a slow-moving deterrent. It is a highly automated trap. Once the 6-minute window closes and the launch codes are transmitted, the timeline becomes irreversible. In a bolt-out-of-the-blue attack, the initial objective is a decapitation strike. A 1-megaton thermonuclear weapon would target the capital to vaporize the military command structure instantly. The retaliatory phase begins immediately. Hidden nuclear submarines and stealth bombers are deployed to launch hundreds of warheads toward pre-programmed targets across the globe. This sequence is defined by its speed. The entire timeline, from the first detection of an incoming missile to the detonation of over 1,000 Russian and NATO warheads, lasts exactly 72 minutes. The environmental impact of those 72 minutes lasts for decades. 150 million metric tons of soot enter the atmosphere, stripping away 65% of the ozone layer and triggering a 15-year nuclear winter. As global agriculture fails, 5 billion people die from famine, leading to the eventual collapse of civilization. The automated cyber defenses and machine-speed nuclear networks we built to secure peace are the same mechanisms that guarantee our mutual destruction, if the clock ever starts.